All right. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all Joachim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe on the gospel. And it's a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Quara Abad, and as always, we got the beloved brother Tazapah as well.
Uh,
And the Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for blessing us with another opportunity to come forth and provide the necessary information for these times. News, or as we would say, prophecy. Because we are in a dire serious time right now, and the most important thing that a man could get or understand is what's going on. And the only way for somebody to find that out is to listen to the prophets, because as I said in Amos 3, and if a brother want to post that, or we might get it, but in Amos 3, the Lord don't do nothing until he reveal his secrets until his servants, the prophets. Well, the prophets have been out on the highways and hedges since the elder Abba Bivens, since the 60s, 70s, all the way up until now. So therefore, everything is ready, set, go, man. So it ain't much we waiting on. But before we hop into this news, other times apart, you have anything?
yeah, I'll bring out that precept right quick. This is Amos chapter 3. You mentioned that. All right. Amos chapter 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in a city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city and the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, hath not done it? Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. All right. And so this is what these epistles are all about. When you talk about great millstone, all right, we we carry the tradition of 100% truth, all right, and that's the secrets of the Most High, all right. These prophecies, the dark sayings, and the other writings that are hard to be understood, it's all being broken down by the Holy Spirit, all right. And so this is why we do this show, all right. This brother Rabbi, he's dedicated to bringing the news, all right. And so we bring it to you through the lens of these scriptures, all right. And we give you these secrets, and this is what we're giving you. But I mean, you have to have the Holy Spirit in order to value what it is that the brothers are doing, all right. I'm talking about all across the globe. And so that's all I wanted to say, brother. You got it.
So what happened to it? Now I know the title says, Thursday Live, the world is being set up for the fulfillment of the MOTB, and we'll touch on that. But just to start it off with two, honorable mention articles, because these events that we go mention, or these things that we go mention in the first two articles, that's going to lead into the MOTB being further mandated. Because in order for Esau to come with the solution, being a MOTB, the RFID micro C hip, he have to have some chaos. So what happened to this first? It says End Time Headlines, put out November 12th, which is yesterday, which was yesterday. It says Joe Rogan warns America is closer to civil war than he thought. Right? It says, and I'll read a little bit. It says podcast host Joe Rogan warned on Tuesday that not just the death of TPUSA co-founder CK, but the celebration of it indicates the country is inching closer to a civil war. And we ain't got to read too much on that. It's just the point of that's the times we in. You see it right here, say dark times. Dark times. And
There's a
mm-hmm.
there's an FBI agent, I believe. I couldn't date the video. I'm pretty sure it's current, but he was saying he was stepping down. I believe he was in the FBI, but he was saying to he said get weapons, all right, get cool with a few of your neighbors, and y'all make these bonds so when shit hit the fan, y'all could help each other. So he's I want to say the FBI, but I'm saying that to say it's something coming. All right, but I mean we know this, but as the scriptures say, our salvation is nearer than when we believe, and just your regular Joes are getting shook. But go ahead, brother.
God, that's it. Hey, speaking of regular Joe Rogan.
Yeah, Rogan. He looked like, man. I thought that was can't think of his name, but go ahead, brother. I can't think of his name. He wore that earring and he got the bald head. He a germaphobe. I
uh,
can't call his name. He did a talk show and he didn't like to shake hands. He didn't want nobody to touch him.
I was about to say Kurt Angle, the wrestler.
Yeah, no, it ain't Kurt. I believe he was a comedian, but he was a Hollywood type. But it ain't. That's who he looked like, and he must lost a little weight.
hmm
But anyway, you got it out.
Kind of no. So just want to highlight that article. That's the spirit that America is in. Civil war. Everybody is divided, whether it's right wing, left wing, woman, man. Your views, whatever it is, everything is divided. Even the government. The scriptures say if it's divided, the kingdom can't stand. So moving on to the next honorable mention article. This from National News headlines. Now this was put out yesterday as well, because again, when civil war come, as we know, it's going to be concentration camps, and that's in the scriptures. Second Ezra 15, Second Ezra 16, how the troops going to be throwing people into jail. Well, not into jail, but in these detention centers, so to speak, grabbing you out your houses. Well, this is what we seeing play out. It says the Trump administration mulls, right? What mulls mean? Mulls. It says to think about
Think over. Yeah.
a proposal or request as a fact, right? It says the Trump administration mulls turning vacant warehouses into mega detention centers. And in order for you to get this shelter or be in these centers, you know what you're gonna have, as we'll touch on here in the future, MOTB, digital IDs, which is gonna lead to a CBDC, which is gonna lead to the actual digital grain of rice. It says the Trump administration plans to convert large vacant warehouses, some originally built for corporations like Amazon, into mega detention centers for immigrants facing deportation. These facilities could be up to 3.8 million square feet, dwarfing existing ICE detention centers. And you see how many people. So really, Esau about to take it that they setting the stage around the people before they have whatever event pop off that they gonna have. They setting the stage.
But that's for immigrants. You worry about the wrong thing.
That's what Americans think though.
Yeah.
Americans, a nigga.
No, that's what. Hey, alligator Alcatraz. They was
Mhm.
throwing citizens in that bad boy. That's
Yep.
supposed to have been for the shit. What you call them? The illegals. I
Yeah.
don't want to call them that, but it's supposed to be for them.
hmm
But yeah, they was throwing citizens in there. So right. Of course, I was being sarcastic.
Come.
But this is Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. All right, because we already know the prisons right now across America are jam packed. So for this to be fulfilled, there you go. The brothers reading the article and they building shit. All right, they're converting buildings and they're building detention. When they say detention, see, that's a soft word for prison. All right, because when you detain, you're a prisoner. All right. Uh, Revelation 2:10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, Esau, Edom, shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. All right. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. And see, when they say tried, You can go back to was it Wisdom of Solomon 2? All right. They gonna yeah, they gonna get real cruel. All right. And it's gonna be for our trying. It's a reason why. All right. Jeremiah 30:7 called these days Jacob's trouble. All right. Because it's really the time of our trying. All right. So however it's gonna end up for the faithful, you're gonna have to remain faithful. All right. But it says, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right. So yeah, you got it out.
Yeah, so that was just another honorable mention in these articles and the two videos that we have is in the description box right now under the video because we ain't gonna hit everything, you know. But that's just a thing to look into. Trump and his administration talking about turning warehouses into mega detention centers, which we know is concentration camps. And it ain't just talks, as the elder said, it's in the scriptures that it gotta happen. It gotta happen. You see, again, the jail's already full, as the elder just said. So what else? They got to start new places, and that's what you're gonna find out is your concentration camps, man.
That's it.
That's it. So now we'll get into it. The segment for tonight, which is Thursday Live, the world, and Shalom Tala Akim Akwa that's tuning in. But it says the world is being set up for the fulfillment of the MOTB, and that's what we're seeing. And before we can get into the kingdom, before Esau fall and missiles fly and all that good stuff, this is the prophecy that have to be fulfilled, man, that have to be mandated. This is the big one right here. The MOTB. Now, we know it's a digital ID, which this digital ID is not the actual mark of the B itself. You know, the RFID micro C-HIP is. But these are steps, gradualism that's going to lead to that actual prophecy. Esau can't just come out and force everybody right away to get a device in their body. No, they got to set up a system around the people gradually. So when you open your eyes and look up, it ain't no way you can run or hide. Either you're going to bow down or get cast out of society. And that's what he's doing right now. And it's not just here in America. Everybody doing it. You have Russia. We touched on that 2 weeks ago at the Times of Power. Russia. In Russia now, if you get a new cell phone, you have to. If you get a new cell phone in Russia, you have to get a digital ID because they come downloaded on the app already. You see, I think we went into Mexico not too long ago as well. They kickstarting this. Everybody kickstarting these digital IDs. Because first it starts with your ID, your identification that's digital, then your healthcare that's digital, and then last but not least, your financials that's gonna be digital. And that digital, you yourself will be in the system, man. That's what Esau taking it. And according to Revelation 3:10, the whole world is doing it. So this one says thepeoplesvoice.com. It says put out 2 days ago, November 11th. It says Canada rolls out mandatory, keyword mandatory, digital ID for welfare recipients. And this one thing I noticed, they hitting on all aspects of life. I'm talking about what I've been noticing is like Russia. If you get a new phone, which everybody use phones, you have to get the digital ID. Right? And you had
right.
China, you already opted into theirs regardless. And then you see, I forget what it was with Mexico, but now you see on the spectrum of welfare recipients. If you still want them benefits, go ahead and get that digital ID. If you want that phone, use your phone. It was somebody saying, hold on, I gotta look it up. Have to have digital ID to use Google. Somebody said they had to have a digital ID to use Google. We talked about it last week. If this computer works, but the point is to have internet access. Eventually, your healthcare, your benefits, you're gonna have to get on the system, man. I think, man, we touched on that last week. It was somebody saying, one nation saying to get on Google. But anyway, I'm gonna read it a
Oh,
little
to
bit.
get on Google. Yeah, you had read that article.
Yeah, I just don't remember like what country it was though.
I think you had an article on that.
No, it's all good. Just want to point out the point, the fact of you seeing they forcing people from different angles. Again, whether it's healthcare, whether it's your benefits, whether it's just getting a phone, whether it's just you getting on Google, social media. You got to have a digital ID for some ages in certain places. But let's read this. It says Canada has announced plans to roll out mandatory digital ID for all welfare recipients in the country, including seniors of old age security. It says Canada's Department of Employment in a recent note in Prime Minister Mark Carney's 2025 budget declared that changes will be made to the Department of Employment and Social Development Act. The goal of the changes is to enable the delivery of more integrated and efficient services across the government. It says these amendments would benefit all Canadians by enabling the development of more efficient and convenient government resources, modernizing legislative authorities to support information sharing and digital services will particularly benefit groups facing barriers due to outdated paper-based processes. It says the note did not give specific details how Canadians' personal information will be used across the government services. However, the recent message comes only a few months after the government hired consultants to investigate a digital ID. So look, they just hired people to investigate a digital ID months ago. Now they starting it. And why that's key, because we're gonna talk about America here in a few. America is already, they've been talked about it. Now they starting it. It's just Americans ain't catch on yet. Americans ain't catch on yet. It says, as reported by LifeSite News, the Canadian government hired outside consultants tasked with looking into whether or not officials should proceed with creating a digital ID for all citizens and residents. And it goes on how eventually they adopted it. They did it. And that's where we are today. They saying, look, we doing it. It says digital IDs and similar systems have long been pushed by globalist groups like the WEF, the World Economic Forum, an organization which Carney has extensive ties to. So again, everybody doing it, man. And it should be no surprise. So Chief Ephraim, yes, Iran in it. Iran doing it, China doing it, Russia doing it, and America doing it, and the EU and the beast. Chief Ephraim, everybody doing it. You just ain't watching.
He wasn't made privy to the secret, you know. For whatever reason, he took his lamp, but he didn't take no oil with his lamp, in his vessel. He didn't take no oil. But right, it's going back to Amos chapter 3, the 6 and 7. All right, as concerning the MOTB, that falls under Habakkuk 2. That's no longer a secret. Now it's speaking, all right, out loud. So that's no longer a secret. Now you see we don't get ridiculed no more as we once did, because camps like IUIC and these other guys, they got to do with the damage control, and they got to come up with something, all right. But when you tell the truth, you don't have to come up with make up things as you go along. So yeah, this prophecy is yelling, screaming, loud and clear. All right. And if you don't see it now, it's because the Lord want to destroy you. All right. But yeah, well, I might as well bring this out. This is Numbers chapter 1 and verse 48. For the Lord has spoken unto Moses, saying, only thou shalt not number the tribe of Levi, neither take the sum of them among the children of Israel. all right? And that's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And ultimately, that's what this mark is all about. Numbering and tracking, all right? Going all the way back to SS Nazi and the Third Reich, all right? IBM, International Business Machines. They created a tabulation system to keep tab of their prisoners, POWs, and whoever else. All right, and you know they had IBM, but you know that was for that time. So now we here, and they getting ready to go into this fourth right, and they have moved on to more sophisticated means. All right, in this digital cyber age. So you know, now they have these micro CHIPs, but it's for tracking. We're all in the system already. All right, through facial recognition, these cameras they watching you, they watch your car. We all have been we in the system through facial imaging and these cameras, but they need to CHIP you to track you. All right, because you know just having facial recognition, you can avoid cameras. You can stay away from hot spots, and they can't just track you. But when you get that CHIP, there ain't nowhere you can go. But they building the system, as the young priest just mentioned, to where everything's going with or without a mark. All right, they want to have it locked down, especially in these 15-minute cities. But you got it out.
Now that's it. So I will play a quick video and we'll just let it run through. Is it like a compilation of many different videos showing this is what's going on around the world? It can't be denied. That's why, man, we ain't worried about what these other camps say, who say what the MOTB ain't, and he never tell us what it is. We ain't got time for that. This is what it is. This is what the Lord say, right? And this is the tangible proof that he's given in the last days that this is the MOTB. So quick video from Jason A. 21 hours ago. It was posted. The title says, "It's here. We were warned this was coming." And the main warning came through starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the bishops of Great Millstone, man. On down to the brothers. Again, you ain't just got to be in Great Millstone, but if you teach this doctrine, you're a part of that. Let's play it.
To anonymity on social media. In our countries, no one can walk the streets with a mask on their face or drive a car without a license plate.
Okay, throw out it to the brother Lamar Moth, GMS Rich in Faith. He said it was Spain, the one you couldn't get on Google. I think that's what he's talking about without the digital ID.
No one can send packages without showing an ID or buy a hunting weapon without giving their name. And yet, we are allowing people to roam freely on social networks without linking their profiles to a real identity. This paving the way for misinformation, hate speech, and cyber harassment, because it is facilitating the use of bots, and it is allowing people to act without being held accountable for their actions. Such an anomaly cannot continue. In a democracy, citizens have the right to privacy, not to anonymity or impunity, because with those two, social coexistence would be impossible. That is why I believe we must push forward the principle of pseudonymity as the functioning element of social media, and force all these platforms to link every user account to an European digital identity wallet. This way, citizens could use nicknames if they want, but in the case of a crime, public authorities would be able to connect those nicknames to real people and hold them responsible. Because accountability is not an obstacle to freedom of speech. It is an essential complement to it.
Well, many have started paying for things with their phones, even watches.
One company, though, wants to take that technology to another level by implanting a chip in your hand. So the overseas company Wallet More is selling the microchip in parts of Europe. It's about the size of a grain of rice, goes under the skin. It's then activated using a digital wallet app. The chip is going for about $300, and the company says at least 200 people have gotten them implanted already. I would have many questions for a doctor about that.
Yeah, how healthy
Didn't look
is
very
that for
micro,
you?
did it?
No, it's pretty big. I mean,
It's a pretty big chip.
I mean, you know, a paper cut hurts. You're gonna put a thing like that, in
What
your
happens if you
hand.
have to change banks? You gotta like
Right, you gotta change it out.
I don't know. I ain't interested in it. Keep it away from me.
I just want to know how it affects your body.
Yeah, it can't be good. It can't be good to put some electronic device in your body and keep it there. Ooh-wee. Good luck with that.
Exactly 5 years ago, the Central Bank of Brazil, their equivalent of the Reserve Bank of Australia, introduced a new government-run payment system known as PIX. It's an app on people's phones, and the central bank forced all the banks to accept it. Brazilians can use it to transfer money instantly from their bank account to anyone else's, a friend or a shop, either using their PIX alias or, in a shop, a QR code. And the best thing? Well, it's free for people to use, and there's a single merchant fee of 0.22%. 93% of Brazilians now use PIX, and it's rapidly displacing cards. You know it's working because the US President Donald Trump is bitterly complaining about it, saying that those great American companies, Visa and MasterCard, are losing out. So he's whacking Brazil with a 50% tariff. So here's my question. How come the Reserve Bank of Australia doesn't do it? It's talking about cutting card payment costs by $1.2 billion, but actually $6.4 billion in fees are being hoovered up for not doing very much by Visa, MasterCard and the banks, as well as Apple and Google, since about half the transactions are now using cards on our phone wallets. And that's only going to increase because, as we know, cash is on the way out. What's more, the fees are hidden. We tap our card or phone without knowing about all the little added extras. So why don't we have PIX? Well, apparently it's because the payments infrastructure in Australia is entirely built around cards. And getting everyone to switch to an app where you have to scan a QR code or know the other person's alias would be hard. Also, the system is owned by the banks and Visa and MasterCard, so the government would have to effectively nationalise it, which was fine for Brazil, but in Australia we privatise businesses, not the other way around.
As ATMs and bank branches close and Australians increasingly rely on digital payments, one economist predicts the country will be cashless in the next few years. But there are fears a world without banknotes will leave people unable to pay for essential goods and become easy targets for cyber criminals.
No time for delay on the lunch rush.
Tap away when you're ready. Tap away when you're ready. Tap away when you're ready.
Cafe Pablo and Rusty's was one of the first businesses to axe cash. Now heavy hitters are on board, including KFC, Krispy Kreme and Nando's. Even Macquarie Bank is phasing out cash deposits and withdrawals.
We're definitely going to become a cashless society. It's better for consumers and it's better for businesses.
UNSW Professor of Economics Richard Holden says in 5 years we'll be functionally cashless unless the Reserve Bank acts even sooner.
We could say year one, we'll get rid of the $50 bill. Year two, we'll get rid of the 20 and the 10. And year three, we'll kind of mop up the...
Oh, speaking of that, they done with the pennies. The pennies. They done minting pennies and creating pennies.
small change, and that would give people time to adjust. For older Australians, it's going to be more challenging.
No, not cashless. Definitely not.
I don't even have a wallet anymore. Just use the phone, it's great.
We want to be able to do what we want with our money. Money, money, money.
Sweden, the first nation to introduce banknotes back in the 1600s, was shaping up to be the first to get rid of them.
The demand from merchants and consumers that really decided the speed of this process.
But there was community backlash when people struggled to pay for essential goods, including the elderly and people living in areas with low internet.
We didn't see the problems in time.
Now trying to strike a balance.
New laws have come into operation, been forcing banks to have ATMs all over Sweden.
Lobby group Cash Welcome says it should serve as a cautionary tale for Australia.
Millions of Australians trust and rely on cash every day.
And it comes without the data breaches, scams and tech failures of digital payments.
Because it's not reliable. As soon as there's a flood, as soon as there's a fire, as soon as there's an internet outage, nobody can spend.
Whether you use cash or not, there's no question it's getting harder to access. In the past financial year, 11% of the nation's ATMs closed. Despite this, Aussie still withdraw 8...
And see, that's one thing. It's not just that they got Esau don't have to put a gun to your head to say, get this MOTB or get down with the system. The thing is, what they just said in Australia, they closing ATMs. You have businesses that don't allow cash. So even if you want to say, F the digital system, I'm all about cash. Okay, well, find a business. Eventually you have to find a business or a company that's going to allow you to use your little cash. People because of social media, they entitled and they thinking they could do what they want to do. I don't want to be in this. I'm gonna use cash, okay? But you will be in a system around you that don't take cash. So now what? I get this rule.
That's been going on for years. All right, the doing away with cash. All right, cash is shit. Yeah, where you spend cash now? I don't even know where you spend cash no more.
Right.
But yeah, I mean they got us. If you don't have your Howard Basham, your Howard Shai, that's the only thing I'm banking on. I ain't banking on no silver. I ain't banking on no gun. I'm banking on Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. You saw you got this shit locked. Shit, and not you personally, but you niggas out there, y'all can bullshit with this thing if you want to. All right. The scriptures is plain. He does not bear the sword in vain. He's efficient with that bad boy. All right. And he getting ready to show you how efficient he is with it. All right. This is the Most High's left hand. All right. The only way to escape the left hand is through the right. That's it. But you got it out.
Now that's it. And see, and it's good how the Lord been having it, because these Americans think like the events that take place, the laws that get passed, the injustice that go around, that go along across the world, Americans think that's never gonna come here. No, it's here. It's not that it's never gonna come. No, it's already here. You just don't know it because you're caught up in Sunday NFL football. You caught up in just celebrities and BS. And we'll play a video in a few, but it's already around you and you don't even see it. Let's read this a little bit, because we always hear about other nations going digital and digital IDs. Let's tap into America, right? So this is ITIF.com, which is Information Technology and Innovation Foundation. It says the path to digital identity in the United States. It says digital IDs are more convenient, secure, and versatile option than physical IDs, but few Americans currently have one. And I mind you, this article was in 2024, September 23rd, 2024, so about a year ago. And the thing is that more Americans have it now, because if you take your ID out in your phone, and the brother your car out here in the Houston camp, he put me on game. If you take your ID out, that hard cover ID, that physical ID you got in your wallet or your purse, and they got a star or a yellow star in the top corner of it, I believe it's a star in the top corner, guess what? You got your digital ID. You got your digital ID. You already locked in. And every time you use that ID, the government know about it. Even already, man. Let's read. It says digital IDs. You about to say something to talk about?
Oh, no, I was just saying right.
Kind of says digital IDs are more convenient, secure, and a versatile option than physical IDs. But fewer Americans currently have one. With the right investments and collaboration between, check this out, federal and state governments, Americans could utilize the full potential of digital IDs. Now, it's a good article, an informative article, like it says informative technology, but I'm gonna just read the key takeaways. It says countries around the world have started offering digital IDs since the advent of the 21st century, taking many different approaches, many different avenues. One, to confuse the people, so they don't think this is coming. It says taking many different approaches to digital identity that the United States could learn from. Currently, 13 states, and again, it's a year ago, offer mobile driver's license, a type of digital ID, and have faced challenges such as interoperability, accessibility, usability, and trust. It says the few federal efforts at a national digital identity system has resulted in only limited progress towards the goal. To ensure that all Americans have access to well-developed digital IDs, the federal government should coordinate a nationwide effort to promote digital ID development, implementation, and use. Again, what's the title of this article? The Path to Digital IDs in the United States. And it starts with what? Promoting it across the nations, implementing it, and using it, developing it. And that's where we at right now. They're promoting it. It's on mainstream media. People are actually using them. You can't, now it's been not as far as like a full mandate, but with the Apple, well, let me read it real quick. End Time Headlines put out yesterday, Apple launches digital ID that will be accepted by the TSA. Eventually, it's going to be the only form of ID accepted by TSA in order for you to move around. This is like a snake. He slowly, a snake, he'll move around your throat a little bit or your wrist, whatever it is. He'll move around slow. And then what he doing as he's slowly moving around you, he choking you, man. That's what Esau doing. He's slowly rolling out things to choke the people up when they don't even notice it. I'll read this a little bit. I'm sure y'all seen this. It says Apple is launching digital IDs, a feature that allows you to create and store an ID in Apple Wallet using your United States passport. In the announcement, Apple says digital ID acceptance will begin to roll out first at TSA checkpoints for domestic travel in over 250 airports across the U.S. You can present your digital ID in a place of real ID at TSA checkpoints using your iPhone or Apple Watch. It says, but Apple knows that it isn't a replacement for your physical passport and that you can't use it for international travel and border crossing. Now, again, they saying that now, but they just bringing it out. You see, it's all gonna be gradualism. We're gonna play one more video, and I think that was it on there. You got some other types of power?
No, you good.
Okay, I'm gonna read a little more on this. It says this report lays out a path toward achieving that goal. It says to start, it outlines the benefits of digital ID over physical forms of identification. It then analyzes trends in digital identity around the world, looking at various countries' digital ID offerings and how the private sector plays a role in making digital ID widely available. So in other words, America looking how everybody else doing it first, and they go come in. It says it explores the current patchwork of digital identity in the United States and the early efforts at creating a national standard for digital implementation. And finally, it recommends policies federal and state governments should take toward the future of digital identity in America. Think about that. First, it started with promoting it. They already doing that right now, promoting and putting it out there. That's why Apple just dropped that, talking about, look, we upgrading digital IDs. At the same time, you look at, and it just hit me. That's why I got excited. You look at TSA lines across airports in America, they so long right now. We talked about that last week. The Houston airports, the TSA line outside of the building. But it would sound convenient if you got that digital. Come on in that digital ID line. You can skip. See, we gonna start seeing things like that. Little initiatives Esau go throw forth. Trump been talking about another stimulus. It might be for those who already down with the. Come on, man. So first step is promoting it. Second step is making it available. And third step is finally it recommends policies, laws, Isaiah 10. Policies federal and state governments should take towards the future of digital identity in America, mandating it. We ain't that far off. We not that far off.
Now,
you got
brothers had some of the video, it speaks about the banking system and how it was created. And it pointed out real something I just never really considered, but you spoke about America being last, and I said this maybe three, maybe 4 years ago. that this is the home of the world reserve currency. What Esau wants, he wants a smooth transition. And so, like the scenario you just laid out, that's the MO. All right. It's just like with with cash. All right. They didn't do away with it. They gave you the more convenient route. Yeah, use the debit. You don't have to worry about it. And so, right, that's how they'll do with the whole digital shit. They'll make it convenient for you at first. They'll give you the option. All right. But then they'll take away that option of the previous. All right. To usher you into the latter, which is this digital system. But going back to the financial system, what that video pointed out is that all of this debt is interconnected. And that's where the term too big to fail come from, because they all intertwine with debt. And if one go down, you crash the entire system. So the United States Federal Reserve note is the system. That's what SWIFT right now is set on. So it has to be last. So if America was to go first, it would crash the world. And then they would have to try to, go digital from the ashes. But they want to keep the dollar afloat while they set the system in place, as they have been doing. And when they feel it's ready, it's going to hurt either way. But if they would have started here, it would have been complete chaos. And this is in my opinion. But right, they have to start with these other countries first, while keeping the Federal Reserve note circulating around the world, keeping the debt going, because debt is the system.
Yep.
Debt is the financial system that runs the world is not a money system. It's a debt system. All right. This is why you are so caught up, for lack of a better term, in your credit score. Because it's a debt-based system, and the better credit you have, the greater freedom you have to move about in this system, because it's debt-based. All right. So, right, if one goes, the whole system collapses. All of these banks in these countries, banks and countries, are embroiled in the debt tied to the U.S. Federal Reserve note. All right. So they got to keep this scheme going until they get ready to, green light the digital shit. All right, all this shit. But you got it out.
That's it. That's it. So with again, the TSA thing and all that, Advertiser you had sent me this one, and there's some good info too. BusinessWire.com put out yesterday from a Berkshire Hathaway company. Telecoin makes U.S. banking history with approval to launch the first regulated digital asset bank. So they're going now. They're taking it there, man. Chief Ephraim, your million dollar question, everybody doing it, if you want to know. But we'll play this last video, and that's pretty much it, Zaquan. Oh, I wanted to read this too. The brother Yadamah, Shalom Ahmad, 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, right? See, Esau is a smokescreen to everybody else in America. They're falling for it. But when Esau do something, we don't look at the initial act. We see what come behind that. If this happened, what he trying to do? If you got a new distraction like Diddy, the Epstein files, and celebrity BS, we don't look at the celebrity BS and the Diddy and Epstein files. We more so do research. Okay, if he putting out some BS like this, what he doing behind the scenes? And then when he come with plans as far as he trying to help you in a digital system and all this, we know it's not to help you, it's to further get you trapped. So again, let's Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We see through him, man. We see through Esau. Matter of fact, when we'll play the video, I did a lesson the other day, and it was going into only if Eve would have been told about the serpent ahead of time. You feel me? Think about that. Only if somebody would have told her, watch out, it's going to be somebody trying to come deceive you. He going to lie. He going to sound like he got something good. Only if she was told ahead of time, she would have had something to look for. And the thing was, she wasn't for the story's sake. But why I say all that to say, we have been told. We've been told about the serpent. Look for him now. Look out what he about to do. Like, don't fall for what the government come with, what Esau come with, the WF, whoever it is. We've been told about this man already. Watch out for his BS. You know, that was it. You got something to comment before we play his last vid?
Yeah, Con, you spoke about you know, his deception. Everything he does is you know, it appears to be for your benefit. It appear that way, but that's what's that shit. Sirach 12 and 10. You know, never trust thine enemy. They speak about, you know, that thou should be as one that wipeth a looking glass and see that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Yeah, you got to examine this man. All right. You got to examine this devil. He come giving gifts. All right. Yeah, he brought he brought gifts to the natives. And look, but just like you say, it's to further ensnare you. All right. In Psalm 64 and 2, it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. All right. The Edomites, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. All right. And that's going to come down the pipe of draconian legislation and them speaking as a dragon. All right. With these bitter words, grievousness, which they have prescribed. Verse 4 says, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. But what did I read about secrets? All right. They don't have any secrets that the Most High don't know. And the Most High giving his secrets, as the brother just said, we know all about the serpent now. All right. We know his secret counsel. We know all about the serpent now through the blessing of the Holy Spirit. So, right, that they may shoot at the perfect, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. All right. That's all this 5G cyber system that they've constructed. All right. Now the brother Bakwasha was telling me, you know, because he deal with, you know, construction as a project manager. All right. And he said everything right now is about them goddamn data centers. And he told me, you know, firsthand that Esau is scrambling, trying to get these data centers going. And this is one of the last pieces of their puzzles is the data centers. All right. And having the ability to keep them cool. All right. To cool them off. But right, this is why you're going to see your energy prices continue to soar. All right. Because of these data centers, they draw enormous amounts of energy and they require even more amount of power to cool because they're generating heat. All right. To be able to keep all of that information with you and your CHIP because it's going to track every second of your life. So they need storage. All right. But you know, that's them, as the scriptures say right here, encouraging themselves in an evil matter. And it says they commune of laying snares privately, because people just gonna go headlong into this. As you said, I thinking that it's something that's gonna help them in some kind of way. I don't know how they gonna figure that, but you know, that's how Esau going. You know, he's an excellent marketer. You know, he'll market the shit out of the product. So he gonna make it flashy. He gonna pull out the fans, the star. He gonna pull out the star power, and they gonna push it and hype it up. And these niggas gonna carry their simple ass up there, you know, to get condemned. But again, verse 5, Psalm 64 and 5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? So that's it. You got it.
Yeah, that's it. That's on point. So we'll end it off with this video. This from Jimmy Dore. And I always ask you, Dory or Dore?
Yeah, Dore.
Okay, kind of. I always ask you that. So Jimmy Dore show, and it was put out a day ago. Now it says the title is Mass Surveillance is Much Farther Along, and he put emphasis on much farther along than you thought. The point is, we ain't waiting on the Lord to give a dream to a man to create the MOTB, you know, to give him the thought of this. No, it's here. It's in hands and heads already. It's here. And so much so mainstream media is pushing it. And what we read on the path to the digital ID in America, first they push it, and then they set up federal and state governments that's go, what it say right here? Set up policies for federal and state governments that they should enact toward a digital future. Next laws go come. This is where we at. I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
Alone in your home, and this is why. All your devices at home and all smart appliances, they are all connected on a wireless network. Many of these devices will have cameras, many will have microphones, and so they are monitoring everything all the time. Your smart appliances are communicating with the smart meter and sending it real-time usage data. If there's a Ring camera also in your home, a mesh network is formed, and all your devices are being tracked within the home, its location, its usage, and all the data is going to Amazon servers.
So you're probably, I hope that you're as blown away by this story as I was when I discovered it. You are in a surveillance state by not only your government, but by every electronic device in your house, on your person, your phone, your watch, your dishwasher, your alarm clock, your television, your refrigerator, your coffee maker. If you have an Amazon Echo, and if you have an Amazon Echo or another form of smart device in your home, you need to watch this. Beyond the current dystopian surveillance, very important to understand geofencing coming to a freedom city near you. Let's watch this. This is about three minutes long. Watch this. This is a portion of a film called The Agenda, Their Vision, Your Future. Let's watch.
One man who knows the dangers only too well is Aman Jabi, who was at the forefront of digital development in Silicon Valley, California, for 25 years. He left when he recognized the dark side of surveillance technology, choosing instead the peace and beauty of Montana. He's an expert in facial recognition.
It's a technique that is used to uniquely identify the biometrics of any face. So in a device like your smartphone, and most modern smartphones in the last 5 or 7 years, they have a 3D camera module in the front of the phone, which you cannot see. Within that module is a near-infrared projector, which projects tens of thousands of dots on your face. Those dots are then distorted based on the contours and the features of your face. And there's a near-infrared camera then takes a picture of that distortion, captures it, and then reverse engineers the exact profile of your face. In the longer term, facial recognition will be used to unlock your digital identity, which is going to be a tool of control for the agendas that are coming down the pipeline.
Elements of that control are already with us.
Alexa, good morning. Good morning.
You are never alone in your home, and this is why. All your devices at home and all smart appliances, they are all connected on a wireless network. Many of these devices will have cameras, many will have microphones, and so they are monitoring everything all the time. Your smart appliances are communicating with the smart meter and sending it real-time usage data. If there's a Ring camera also in your home, a mesh network is formed, and all your devices are being tracked within the home, its location, its usage, and all the data is going to Amazon servers. When you leave your home, all modern vehicles are connected to the internet, so your automobile is being tracked all the time. When you're going under a string of smart LED poles and smart LED lights on the highway and in the streets of your towns and cities, those form a wireless network and are tracking your vehicle. They are tracking all the devices on you, from smartphones to smartwatches when you're walking on the streets. So data is being collected 24/7 continuously on every human being whenever you are within these wireless networks. And it's obviously not good for health also because of all the electromagnetic radiation. In the long term, the plan is to pretty much lock up humanity in smart cities, which is kind of a superset of a 15-minute city. They've sold all the state and local governments and countries that smart cities are about sustainability and the good of the city. But in reality, the language from the UN and WEF and their white papers is all inverted. So air monitoring is really about limiting mobility and no car ownership, right? Surveillance, control via LED grid is why the smart lighting is there. Water management is about water rationing. Noise pollution is about speed surveillance. Traffic monitoring is about limiting mobility. And then, of course, energy conservation is all about rationing heat, electricity, and gasoline. Another concept one should be familiar with is called geofencing. And think of it as an invisible fence around you where you cannot go beyond a certain point. And that'll be
right. A man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. 2 Ezra 15.
related to your face recognition, digital identity, and access control. Your smart contracts, SoftBrick can turn off your digital currency beyond a certain point from your house. Our world has been turned into a digital panopticon. That means you can be monitored, analyzed, managed, and monetized.
Surveillance capitalists are already making billions of dollars selling our information to big corporations, because this kind of detailed knowledge enables them to predict and influence our behavior.
Whoa. Geofencing. Geofencing. So they're going to put you in a 15-minute city, and they're not going to let you out of it. And if you have digital currency, then they can just turn off your money. They can turn off your car. They can turn off your credit cards. You're done. This is the world. And if you have an Amazon Echo, you're screwed. I do not have an Amazon Echo, but we do have one of those doorbell things. Guess what? Elon Musk.
And it goes on. It got much more information, but that's the point. That's where the world is heading, man. It's going digital. Why? Not because the governments and the presidents and leaders of these countries have this bright idea to do so. No, it's according to Bible prophecy. And that's why the prophets, the believers, we should speak and move with confidence in these times, because we already know the end game. The people in the world, they see the articles and get shocked and surprised and wonder what's going to happen, how it's going to end off. Is they really going to do it? Are we really going digital? I don't know. We know. Like, we literally know it's going digital, and we seeing it happening. But that's it, other Taza Pa. I don't know if you had anything else.
Yep. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right. And to sum up what I just read, it's talking about a micro CHIP. All right. We done did hundreds of thorough breakdowns, word for word. All right. It's here. The mark is here. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody deceive you. All right. If you take it, you will be destroyed. But there will be no cloak for your sin. All right. We didn't put it out there. It done been thoroughly exposed. All right. The mark of the beast is a micro CHIP, and they want to implant it in your right hand or in your forehead. All right. So yeah, that was it. I had to get the scripture. As Habakkuk said, the vision is speaking. All right. But yeah, you got it, brother. You could take it on that.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, so with that, again, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. this information was helpful. In the times we're in, it will be needful. But it will be needful for, it's only for those who care, those who really fear the Lord. But with that, we go end it until next time. With that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory once again unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Akim, who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe on the gospel and keep fighting, keep pushing. Hey, and we almost out of here. And with that, shalom.
Right, shalom.